Welcome to Cardigan Chronicles, an original podcast from Herrick District Library in Holland, Michigan, featuring stories about life in the library, our community, and the world of books. We're your hosts. I'm Amanda, a youth services assistant.
And I'm Heather, teen librarian. Today we're joined once again by Pete and Erik to talk about movies. This time we're going to focus on summer blockbusters. Finally, our Book Bite segment will feature a movie that we're looking forward to seeing this summer. So, welcome back, Pete and Erik.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Thanks for having us.
We are excited to revisit the world of movies, especially in terms of summer blockbusters. Pete, as our resident film scholar,
Oh, Lord.
can you explain to us what a summer blockbuster is?
First of all, I just want to say you're all going to be very disappointed if I'm the resident expert. Yeah. So for me, it's the movie that defined the summer blockbuster, which is Jaws. So released in June 20th of 1975, it was a movie that literally changed my life. I had always wanted to be in film, create film since I was 8 years old. This one, of course, came a little bit later. And the music is what got me with this film. This is where I realized at a very young age that without music, a film is much less than it could be. John Williams created, with just a couple notes, he created this very simple but extremely impactful film score that represented this nightmarish creature, and literally with just a couple notes, which that's amazing to me.
Yeah, I had already written in my my notes. I knew that you were going to say Jaws. Actually, I have it written here.
Erik knows me too well.
I mean, exactly what he said. I mean, just the score itself, when you hear, da, da, you know exactly what that's talking about. It doesn't even have to be, you can be on the water somewhere and someone starts saying that. You start looking around. Do I see a fin? Do I not? Where is it?
So if I may, the other things that for me define a blockbuster in general is that it's got a massive budget. It's widely released. So all films back then and prior weren't always widely released. They were slowly rolled out. They might roll a few theaters in New York, a couple in Chicago, LA. Usually they started in LA. This was nationwide on the same date. So
They weren't nationwide releases?
not all of them. Some of them were, but Jaws was one of the first major blockbuster films that was released nationwide at the same time. The other thing is that they universally have appeal to most people, and then there's franchise potential. So those are the four elements for me that define a blockbuster.
I hadn't thought about franchise potential, but now that you've said it, I'm like, yep. Sequel.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In the case of Jaws, unfortunately. The first one was great. The rest, not so great.
Is there a summer blockbuster that you go back to year after year?
Pete, I'm going to let you start.
Okay. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, this one's easy for me too. Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Mm.
It's just, again, such an iconic film. And here we are again, Steven Spielberg, right? You've got Williams doing the music again. So the music is iconic. And then you've got adventure, humor, practical effects, unforgettable music. And the best thing is that it's this, Steven Spielberg has this way, many directors have this, but Steven Spielberg has this way of visually telling a story like nobody else. He's just a master at it. And his use of lighting to me this is where I'm going to geek out. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
This is Pete, the film geek. His use of lighting is just phenomenal. It's so excellently done. Now I realize the DP, director of photography, is who actually does the lighting with the gaffers and that, right? But Steven Spielberg has to know what DP to pick, right? And he knows what DP to pick for sure. So anyway.
Yes, I also had Raiders of the Lost Ark on. I will say I'd actually go 2 years later than Jaws. Jaws came out in 1975. Star Wars: A New Hope came out in 1977 during the summer, and that was the blockbuster of the year, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
It affected Pete and I's lives considerably in terms of our fandoms. I mean, 1 year after Raiders hits, the next summer blockbuster was E.T.
Yes.
Oh, same director.
Yep.
What a surprise. I mean, he went on, Spielberg, I felt like just went on an entire generational run,
Oh, yeah.
For years and years. He was the summer blockbuster movie director for decades.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like a lot of times the directors, like as a child, the directors I knew probably were the ones that created blockbusters, because I wouldn't say I'm as versed in director names, but I know Steven Spielberg, I know Christopher Columbus, and I know Christopher Nolan, and I have one more, but not for a positive reason. But those are the three, the three directors that I'm really like, oh yeah, I could name 3 directors, and those are the 3 I would say.
Yeah, they are blockbuster masters.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to say, like, really, to me, the summer blockbusters, like, they really went from like the 1980s through the early 2000s to really where it was like classic before like technology that we have nowadays. So everyone's going to the movies, everyone's making, so you couldn't find it online. There was no online.
Right.
And so I feel like that was really the golden age of like blockbuster cinema. So you're getting these epic performances, Back to the Future, comes out, Jurassic Park comes out, and even later on, Independence Day, The Dark Knight, The Avengers, like all these movies came out and were just so epic. And nowadays, if you go to the movies, you only get maybe 1 to 2, maybe a year that are actually good summer movies to go to. The others just, in my opinion, slop. But
Yep, totally agree.
Yeah.
And I wonder how much of that is because of our streaming services now.
100%.
Like, I'm going to say kids today, they will never know what it's like to be watching your Friday night show and you're like, oh, commercial break, quick, run, get snacks, quick, run to the bathroom before it comes back, because it'll probably be a year until that episode is on again.
Yeah. There's a few deviations from this. Jurassic Park would be one of them. But I think that when you go back further to the time period we're talking about, practical effects.
Yes.
There's something about utilizing more practical effects than CG in a film that makes it more tangible, more real, more relatable. Even E.T. E.T. was done with a lot of puppetry and animatronics, primarily, not strictly, but primarily. And it added something to it that made it tangible, as if it was lifelike, which of course was the goal. So I think that has an impact that you don't see so much today, because CG is used so much it overpowers the storytelling.
But I also don't think the CG used today is done as carefully as when some of the CG was first coming out either. So even when they're utilizing the CG, it's like, you're not even trying to convince me that it's not. Where I feel like when they first started using CG, they really were trying to make it seem like it wasn't computer generated.
Like Jurassic Park's a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
It was so well done for its time. My gosh.
It's still one of my favorite movies. I mean,
Mine too.
Going back to the practical effects use, I believe that we talked the last time about the Lord of the Rings movies and how much, at least for me, and I believe for you as well, the practical, like using physical actors as the orcs or the Uruk-hai instead of having all these CGI goblins like we got in the Hobbit trilogy. I thought that, it hurts a movie. I think it really does. It takes you out of it. Unlike, like Raiders or those other practical effect movies that you really feel like, oh, that's real. That's more real than what I'm seeing nowadays in a lot of movies.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, and I think that, and is regards to like cost cutting and deadlines and the pressure that these studios put on these, production companies to come up with these movies in a short period of time or clean them up. There's been a lot of talk online, definitely in the last number of years, the last number of Marvel movies and, and stuff like that, just being a little sloppy. But that's because they were so stressed and working these crazy hours just trying to get these all done for the studios.
Because we now have this culture of you're not going to wait for it because we're used to that instant gratification from the streaming services.
Exactly. And, I'd even say streaming services have really hurt, blockbuster movies. I mean, there's a movie that came out in May. I still haven't seen it, but it was Mandalorian and Grogu.
Oh,
and that was supposed to be, like their big spring movie, their big hit. And that thing flopped so hard at the theater because there's all this streaming. There's so much more to watch and see. And when you put something that's on a streaming service and try to make it mainstream, well, the mainstream audience, if they don't have Disney Plus, they never saw any or know any or care about any of these characters. And so
they're just like, oh, cute, Baby Yoda.
Yeah, yeah, but that was 6 years too late because they couldn't even capitalize on that.
Well, that's why Marvel has had such a problem because they're like, oh, we have the stuff on the streaming services that you have to watch before you go see the movie that's in the theater. But people are like, I don't want to pay for the streaming service. So then they miss the important.
Well, and some of those TV shows that they put out weren't the best.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you.
Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion. Yeah.
We don't talk about Secret
bad.
Invasion. It can stay a secret.
Which is so sad because in the comics, that storyline is like really well
good.
done.
Yeah.
But the show was so bad.
It was so bad. And so you have these duds, and then you have Marvel movies that were duds, like the Marvels, right? Like I don't think
love
that
the Marvels.
I know, but it didn't do well at the theater.
Yeah, actually,
It didn't.
I liked it, but it didn't do well. Yep.
But also, I love Captain Marvel, so that might have had something to do with it.
Some bias.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Do you have a movie you go back to year after year, Heather?
Not summer blockbuster wise. I think the only movies I go back to year after year are typically fall and winter movies that are like seasonal. If I don't even know if this would be a blockbuster or not, but I would say the only movie that I would watch over and over again that isn't related like that is The Mummy with Brendan Fraser.
Love that movie. I really do.
Yeah,
I'm
it's a good
like,
film.
I was talking the last time we talked about movies, how much I was like, sequels, I don't care. I cannot freaking wait for Mummy 4. I'm so pumped.
Absolutely. He's coming back. I'm super stoked for that.
Yeah, he's getting in shape too. You should see him, man.
But Brendan Fraser doesn't even need it. He's just such a cinnamon roll. I just need my Rick O'Connell back, and Evie's coming back. Rachel Weisz is coming back as Evelyn. I'm so pumped.
Is the Scorpion King coming back? Is The Rock going to be in it?
I think he is.
I was joking about that.
That's okay. That's just a rumor right now.
Because that CGI, you look back at that CGI when he's the Scorpion King. Oh boy, that's bad. It's bad when he's a Scorpion King.
But the guy who played Imhotep is coming back, and the guy who played the Magi.
Yeah,
he's coming back too. So all the originals in the first movie are coming that we care about, and the brother are coming back. Not Benny, because spoiler, Benny's gone. But other than Benny, I'm so excited. I've watched that movie so much. If you put it on, I will start quoting line for line.
Well, I think that The Mummy, even The Mummy, the first Mummy movie, I thought that they still had a good use of practical effects, but then sprinkled that in with the CGI. I always look back to when they're flying the airplane.
Yes.
And it's like the mummy's face in the sand. I just thought that was so cool. Like the mix, it worked. I felt like it worked.
Because they didn't go over the top with it, and they made it still believable.
It was subtle enough, but recognizable enough. Yeah, it was a perfect blend.
The Mummy's face definitely creeped me out when I was a kid.
It's a good movie, though. What about you, Amanda?
I'm going to say The Avengers. I don't watch a lot of movies personally, but I will see all the Marvel movies. And I rewatch them. So I would probably go with The Avengers.
That's why she's in charge of our Marvel trivia.
Yes.
But I also think part of the appeal of the summer blockbuster is getting, as a kid at least, is getting a group of friends together, maybe even as an adult, getting a group of friends together and going and having that experience together.
Yeah.
And, I don't think going to the movie theater is the same without picking up some movie theater snacks. So, Pete, do you have a go-to movie snack?
So I'm going to tell you what I used to be able to eat.
Okay.
It's my go-to what I can no longer eat. But so what I used to be able to eat before I became lactose intolerant was Milk Duds. Milk Duds were my go-to. Man, I love me some Milk Duds. But today, and even back then, I would have to go with popcorn. It's that classic, you smell it and you think theater, a big performance, hopefully Blockbuster, right? So.
Yeah, I'm all in on popcorn, just like Pete. I've got to do the extra butter, when I get it from them to really, shake it, spread it around.
It was dangerous when some of the theaters give you access to be able to add your own.
Yeah. Celebration Cinnamon North, shout out. But and also I'd say when you can add like the white cheddar, seasoning or whatever seasonings on, and that just adds to it. And then my candy of choice was Sour Patch Watermelon. I always get one of those, and then a large Mountain Dew. That's the only time I drink Mountain Dew, actually, is when I go to the movies.
Do you bring an AED in to the theater?
No, I don't. I should bring a heart monitor for sure. Absolutely. But yeah, that's my go-to. And then I always am disgusted with myself after the fact, but it was worth it.
Movie theater snacks is your meal.
Yeah, exactly.
Amanda, what about you?
Popcorn. Yeah. I do like M&Ms mixed in my popcorn with a little bit of salty and sweet.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay. Different, but I'll roll with it.
Yeah. What about you, Heather?
Mine is also shock popcorn. However, the size of popcorn I get is dictated by whether or not it's Coke or Pepsi. Because you need a nice beverage, but I hate Diet Pepsi so much. So if it's Diet Coke, I will get a larger popcorn than if it's Diet Pepsi.
That's fair. I'm not a Pepsi guy. I love Coca-Cola.
I will go to certain fast food restaurants, even though it's not really what I want, just because they have Diet Coke.
Okay, after snacks, what's a movie that you think should be a blockbuster?
I'll go.
Yes, Pete.
Okay, so this absolutely flopped at the box office. It did horrible. Enemy Mine. So, are you guys familiar with that?
No.
Really?
Enemy
Erik?
Mine?
Oh, Erik, I thought you'd know this. Okay. So, so Enemy Mine stars Louis Gossett Jr. and Dennis Quaid. They are both shipwrecked on a planet. They are mortal enemies. The races are Louis Gossett Jr. plays an alien, and Dennis Quaid plays a human from Earth. And we are in mortal combat against this alien race. And they both crash land on this planet, unknown planet, and they have to survive. Well, they start out as mortal enemies, and they become close friends, almost to the point of brothers. And then the alien has a child. Anyway, long story short, it's
with
not
Dennis Quaid.
No. Let me clarify. No. The alien has a child on its own, and Dennis Quaid raises the child and keeps the alien's culture intact, language and everything. He learns it all from the alien before the alien dies to keep the culture intact for the child. So what hit me at a younger age was that this was a story about don't judge a book by its cover and don't judge a human being or another living thing until you walk in its shoes, right? So it's a story about connection. It's a story about empathy, understanding, openness. It was released in December 1985, and it cost $40 million to produce, and it only made $12.3 million worldwide. So it was an absolute flop.
Wow.
But I'll tell you, even today, if you go back and watch it, the practical effects,
yeah,
it was, there was certainly some CG and space and stuff, but
sure.
Most of it takes place on the planet. And the practical effects and the makeup with Louis Gossett Jr.'s performance, it is just a beautiful film. It's great.
His was very heartwarming and endearing. Mine is not. I love a good action movie. Sometimes they're in the summer. There was one that came out in 2012, and I've always been a fan of this character from the comics, Judge Dredd, right?
Oh, yeah.
So the movie was Dredd, And it was like right when the 3D craze was coming back and everything in the theater. And, it looked cool. There's just the action scenes. Carl Urban as Judge Dredd. He played it so close to like the comic book. It was just so awesome. And just the action scenes were so cool. And boy, did no one go see that movie in the theater. I saw it. I think I saw it once, and I thought this is going to be awesome. It's going to be great. And now that it is like it's taken on life of its own later, as a cult classic film, where people keep wanting to make a TV show of it and stuff like that. But I wanted that to do so well. I wanted a sequel, and it did not happen at all.
I don't think I am as quite impassioned as their choices. What about you, Amanda?
I don't even have a choice. I was trying to think if Eragon came out in the summer.
Eragon.
Because that was supposed to be a big movie and it was terrible.
Mine was winter, so just go for it. Whatever.
Eragon.
I was just identifying a blockbuster, a film that should have been a blockbuster.
So I would say Eragon. Because I was very excited to see that movie, and it was terrible.
So bad.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It came out.
I don't think it did very well in the theaters.
Oh
either.
No.
Because everyone was like, "Don't see it; it's terrible."
Yeah,
because the book was so good.
Yeah, I was obsessed with that book in high school. It was awful.
That's the thing. What happens, when you get to we talked about it last time. Book to movie, what translates? What do they keep? What do they take out? What do they change?
How can you fail when you have Jeremy Irons though?
I know he's
and
so
they
good.
Did.
Yeah, they did.
I bet he didn't know what was going to happen to that script.
No,
Jeremy Irons.
Quick shout out Jeremy Irons in Kingdom of Heaven. I thought he had a great performance in that.
See, I like him as Scar.
Hey, me too.
Did well.
Hey, summer blockbuster, Lion King.
Oh yeah,
summer blockbuster,
absolutely.
1994 or 3.
Yeah. I feel like mine is cheating now then because I went by, this one wasn't summer, which is the 2005 Keira Knightley Pride and Prejudice. I think, one, it is the best Pride and Prejudice. You can come and fight me on that one. And there are merits to all the adaptations, but the 2005 Keira Knightley one is the best. I will fight you on that. But one of the things that I really like about that one is there are like purposely slow moving moments, and I feel like that's really portrayed in the music for that one. But yeah, it's still so popular and keeps you like grounded in that time period. I think partly because of how it is shot and done and everything. And I think it would have been a nice mix up to what is typically the fast-paced, high action summer blockbuster. So I think it would have been interesting to see it come out in the summer rather than the winter.
That's the one with the hand flex.
Yeah, it is. I wasn't going to go there, but yeah, it is.
I'll be honest, I haven't seen this movie. However, I will say special shout out Keira Knightley, Natalie Portman's backup queen in Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Also, she's in Pirates of the Caribbean.
I was going to bring up Pirates of the Caribbean as well as being an awesome, that's an awesome, blockbuster. The first one's the best.
And it's highly rewatchable.
Yeah. Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to move into villains. Who do you think is the best movie villain?
Let's say it on 3. You ready? 1, 2, 3.
Darth Vader.
I knew they were going to say that. Do you still consider him a villain, even though he is redeemed?
Yes,
I do.
Okay.
100%.
All right,
100%. You can go into just the original 3 movies. He is the villain. He is the villain. It doesn't matter. Even after he reveals that he is the father of Luke Skywalker. Spoiler alert. He still, cut his hand off, and he lets Luke jump down to his death in Bespin. So it's not like he's a great father there.
No.
And so even when he brings him to the Emperor, he's like, no, man, I'm still the bad guy.
Yeah.
You know?
If you listen real carefully, there's a small amount of dialogue where he admits not to paying child support too. So it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad debt.
Oh my God. When does he admit to that, Pete?
47, 30 seconds into Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Look it up, folks. Tell us.
I was going to say 7 seconds in, I'm pretty sure we're still on the long scroll of text.
Did you have any other villains that you liked? Because I've got a list.
Yeah, I bet you too, buddy. I really, really like Thanos in Endgame.
Oh, yeah.
They present his backstory, and you actually, as the viewer, wanting to hate this character, suddenly I found myself having a little bit of reflection on who he is, inner reflection on, can I relate to this? And realizing that, okay, he's in his own mind, however warped it is, he is trying to save the universe. Genuinely trying to save it.
And those are the most dangerous ones.
They
The ones
are.
that think they're doing good. Cue Dolores Umbridge. Okay, continue.
That's very true. It's very
I
true.
hated that movie.
But that's also what made it powerful, what made it work, right? Yeah. So being able to relate to whatever sliver of degree you can makes an enemy, makes a villain work. So the same thing with Darth Vader, right? Darth Vader worked in the beginning because he was just so iconic. Instantly, as soon as you see this visual character, you're like, oh, that all in black. Yeah, that's the bad guy, right? I mean, there's no question about it. And then he just confirms it because he's just these evil acts.
Chokes
right?
Antilles out.
Exactly. Yeah, right out of the gate, man. So, and then the music that follows him, right? John Williams writes a score that's just elevates this iconic character to a level that's even greater than he was, right? Or could be without it. And then the voice, gosh, that iconic James Earl Jones voice. My gosh, it just made it. Anyway,
another
those are
Lion
the two
King
for me.
alum.
Those are the two big ones for me. But,
So I've got a list, right? So
I'm wondering if you and I will overlap on one.
Sure. I've got the Joker from The Dark Knight.
That's who I was thinking of. Yes.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Heath Ledger, rest in peace.
Phenomenal.
I mean, what a generational, phenomenal performance. He's my favorite Joker. Sorry, Jack Nicholson. Like that. I mean, it's just so iconic. You couldn't have another actor come in after he passed to do it differently because that's the Joker. That movie is such a good film from one of our favorite directors, which we'll get to later. And it was so well done. I also want to say, Hannibal Lecter.
That was another on my list.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, just a very, like, you get this, like creepy, like uneasy feeling.
Intelligent.
Yes.
And you feel
and he's always like 1 to 2 steps ahead. I thought
the
that was
slightly
great.
unhinged ones.
Well, it makes your skin crawl. I mean,
and then I had 2 other ones. Goldfinger from anyways. Yes, thank you. And then my last one was Javier Bardem's character in No Country for Old Men.
Oh my gosh, I should have picked that.
Yes,
that's one of the best.
He's
best villains.
Just he doesn't say much, but his physical performance, just like Darth Vader's imposing force, is more than enough to carry that. And I think it's scarier the lack of words he does. It's his actions that he doesn't tell you he's going to do. He's just going to do them. My favorite line, what's the most you've ever lost on a coin flip or a coin toss, and it's like, oh my gosh. So that's like in that moment, that guy is scared, pantsless. And so it's, it's those kind of villains for me that really, really do it. What about you guys?
I want to go back to Dark Knight for a second and Joker. I think part of the reason Heath Ledger's Joker is so good for me is because each time he talks about his scars, like you think you might be getting the backstory on why he's so damaged and doing these things, but each time you don't. Is there any truth into what he's saying?
It's a different story.
Because it's a different story each time. And so you're like, does he have this tragic backstory or is he just completely psychotic? You just don't know.
Yeah.
And I feel like that unknowing and like your brain wanting to make sense of why he's doing these terrible things is part of what makes him such a great villain.
The opening scene in Darknet, I saw it in the theater when it came out, like that day, and I saw it in IMAX. The opening bank scene, like those wide shots that you and I, Pete, love so much with Christopher Nolan with his cinematography. I mean, it was just so iconic, and that I'm just to see them off each other one by one, and then it's the Joker, and then it's like he's just an agent of chaos. He's when they go into the room with all the drug kingpins and all the mobsters and everything, those are your standard villains. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like he's just an agent of chaos.
Mm-hmm.
You see it throughout the movie, progressively so, and that makes him more dangerous.
And I feel like you
anything.
can also see him get annoyed sometimes that other people aren't as chaotic as him.
Yeah.
But like also kind of like genius chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any villains that stick out for you?
I was going to say Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin.
Oh,
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The unhinged ones.
Yeah.
We'll get to him in a bit.
I'm going to do a special villain shout out for a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
Amanda can probably guess where I'm going with this because I frequently talk about how much I love this portrayal.
Is it Joffrey
It's
from Game of Thrones?
She's never watched Game of Thrones.
I've never watched Game of Thrones. No, but weirdly enough, one of the like 3 things I know about Game of Thrones is that everybody hates Joffrey.
That's correct.
No, mine is for Moriarty in the BBC version of Sherlock. I love his portrayal of Moriarty. Andrew Scott. I always get him mixed up with the guy who plays Ben Wyatt in Parks and Rec because their names are similar.
Chris
Scott.
Pratt? Oh.
No, Adam Scott and
Yeah.
Andrew
It
Scott.
is
So
Andrew
Scott, who plays Moriarty, actually he just came out in the movie Pressure with Brendan Fraser. I do actually really want to see that one. Mainly because I love Brendan Fraser and I also love Andrew Scott. But his portrayal of Moriarty, because he is that absolutely, completely unhinged agent of chaos, pure destruction. He does unhinge so well.
And yet, even though he's an agent of chaos, it's a very calculated chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He's an absolute genius. And he's right up there with Sherlock.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I loved his portrayal of Moriarty.
It was and he does this like sing-songy thing that makes an extra level of creepiness because he's like talking like he's everything's so funny while I'm destroying stuff.
Just a side note. Fleabag. You seen the series Fleabag?
I have not.
Andrew
I do know
Scott
he's in
stars,
it.
I think he's in the
He's the
first-
pastor.
He's the pastor, I think.
Yeah,
in
the priest. The priest. I think it's yeah.
And man,
He
he's
killed it.
great. He's great.
Yeah,
in
he's
that.
great. That was a good show.
It was funny.
A girl I dated at the time showed me that show. I was like, oh, this
Very
is really
funny.
good.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's a really good actor.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So shout out to BBC Moriarty.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So let's take it back from those villains for a second and transition into, we've already touched on a lot of comic books get turned into summer blockbusters. Is there one that you think is the best comic book movie? I know that's a tall order.
Mm-hmm.
This one I had to think about for a little bit until I thought about it. And I think it was just because of at my age, the time that I was growing up, the time the movie came out, Spider-Man 2002
Mm-hmm.
comes out.
Toby.
I mean, it started off the entire Spider-Man,
Mhm.
like really the franchise, and just the epicness of bringing Spider-Man from the comic books to the big screen. Everything about that movie, I absolutely freaking love that movie. Like you were saying earlier, Amanda, William Dafoe's
Mhm.
Green Goblin, so well done
Mhm.
because it's William Dafoe and he's just crazy in his own right, as a character actor. And just like Toby's portrayal of Peter Parker,
Mhm.
and just like with the Uncle Ben scene, and
Mhm.
everything like that, I just felt it was a very comic book movie.
Mhm.
Right.
It didn't really try to be something it wasn't. Just it really embraced this whole like, yeah, he's got mutant superpowers and this
Mhm.
and that, and that's just how it is in the world. It was just really so well done.
Mhm.
And so I had that one. I had the Avengers.
Mhm.
because that was another, the culmination of so many years to that point of making this world in the Marvel Universe to that point to even get to the Avengers. And then I would say, obviously Dark Knight, but another one, the original Superman, I thought was really well done too.
Oh, yeah. The original Superman is one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah.
You're talking Christopher Reeves.
Yes. Yeah. Christopher Reeves. Christopher Reeves.
Yeah. He will forever be the perfect Superman to me. Nobody can replace him. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No. Henry Cavill.
I thought he did really good in Superman.
Great job. I like him as Superman.
Yeah, that first one that he did.
But it'll always be Christopher Reeves.
Yes. Yeah.
So he just is Superman.
Martha. No, just kidding.
So I landed on The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Although I kind of bounced back and forth between Spider-Man and The Dark Knight. So Dark Knight was later for me because obviously it's a later film in comparison to the timeline we're talking about. And Spider-Man was earlier. But Spider-Man did feel more like it followed the comic book a little bit closer than The Dark Knight did. Right, The Dark Knight,
100%.
which was fine. It took some liberties, and they did very well with that. Christopher Nolan did fantastic, as well as I forget who adapted the screenplay. But anyway, so I would pick probably Spider-Man first, The Dark Knight second. Those are my two.
Amanda.
I'm going to go with Spider-Man, but a different Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse, because watching that movie, the way they animated it felt like you were watching a comic book.
That's true. I don't know why I didn't think about that. Yeah.
And I just think it was so well done. And they took pieces from the comics and they created different covers. And that's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Speaking of that movie, I will say, as a slight tangent, I've been watching that Spider Noir show.
Oh, no
we still
spoilers.
gotta
We have to watch it still. No spoilers.
I just want to say that I am all about it. And also, you need to watch it in black and white.
Okay.
I've only watched the entire show in black and white. And it's that's how you'll get that noir aspect. And you're not you can watch it either in color or in black and white. Watch it in black and white. It's way cooler.
That's good to know.
I started the first episode. I couldn't get more than 10 minutes through it. I'm just I don't know if I can do this. But you know what? I appreciate your recommendation. And,
thank you,
and I respect it. So I'm gonna try it again.
Yeah, it is. I think Nicolas Cage you just get through the origin-ish story kind of thing, and you get back into I just think Nicolas Cage as the noir thing, it just, even with his regular accent, the way he talks, I think it goes to the noir aspect to it. But it's interesting. Yeah.
That's because he himself is also slightly unhinged.
Yes. It also reminds me of Sin City, with the black and white. I thought that's that's actually another really good comic book adaptation. Well, graphic novel as well. And then
300.
Yep, that was exactly the dude. I almost put that for summer blockbuster. I don't think it came out in summer. I'm not sure, but
I'm going to change my answer. My number one is 300. I totally forgot about that film. That is a great film, and it feels at times it's made to feel like a comic book.
Yeah.
Not through the whole thing, but at times.
Yes. Well, and just like Amanda was saying with Into the Spider-Verse. There's times in 300 that they actually take frames from the graphic novel, like when they're pushing the guys off the cliff, with the spears, when they're fighting. Yep. That's just straight from the graphic. It's just so well done in that respect.
Yeah.
It's not a movie, but the Watchmen show was also really
the
good
TV
adaptation.
Show, not the movie Watchmen.
Yeah, the TV show they did
Watchmen.
that recently.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought that was Watchmen really well movie.
I have not.
You're in for a treat. The movie is great.
Okay, I'll have to watch the movie.
That's what made the TV show even possible.
I watched the TV show. The movie's better.
Okay, I'll watch the movie. I've only seen the TV show.
Yep.
Movie was good.
All right, Heather.
I'm going to keep it in the same veins. Shock. My choice was Dark Knight. I think it's a combination of things. One, Heath Ledger's portrayal of the Joker was just so good. It came out when I was in college, and a bunch of friends and we drove to a movie theater it was probably 45 minutes away, just so that we could go see the opening night stuff because everything in Holland was booked. And it was the entire atmosphere of seeing it with your college buddies, plus it was this huge big budget. Christopher Nolan knows what he's doing to set an atmosphere. And it was like such one of the first moments where I think appreciated cinematography and recognized that I was appreciating it. But I would say in general, I'm more of a Marvel fan, but that Dark Knight was just so good.
Okay, now going into movie trailers. When you watch a movie trailer, what hooks you on wanting to go see the movie?
Pete?
Yeah.
I think I know what you're going to say, but go ahead.
I would say a lot of it is about tone and pacing. So basically the visuals and the music, the score that's used has to keep a certain pace. And even more important, it can't give too much away. What I hate in today's trailers is I'm like, okay, well, I just saw the movie in 30 seconds. What do I need to go see the movie? Right? They'll literally give away the twist in the stupid trailer. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So for me, it's got to be that tone, that pacing, and then it's got to leave you with curiosity. I want to know more. This intrigues me, right? That's a good trailer.
Absolutely. So I'm absolutely with Pete. When it comes to pacing, I put the score as well. I think music, as we've talked about earlier, even in this episode, is so crucial to making a movie really immerse. Get yourself immersed in the movie. I said the epic cinematography as well. I'm with Pete. I saw, what was that movie? Sinners. Sinners came out, and I watched the trailer. Well, in the trailer, they show you.
Don't tell me.
They show you what happens in the movie. I know I'm not going to say anything, but it completely ruined. I still haven't seen Sinners because I already know what happens because they put it in the trailer.
So crazy.
And it's like, one of our former coworkers, Steve, he saw it twice in the theater because he loved it so much. Why? Because he didn't see the trailer. But to go back to the curiosity aspect. The Force Awakens. When the Force Awakens trailer came out, it was like, what's this movie really about? Like, what is this? Who's like, because we knew going in, after episode 6, like, oh, well, we thought we knew what happened, and this was like, 30 years later, you know what I mean? And it kind of drew you in, and it presented some false flags as well. With characters and what happened with them. And I just like that kind of thing really intrigues me. I hate it though when I see a comedy trailer and the best jokes are in the trailer.
Yes.
That's how you know it's going to be a bad movie. And I just like, well, I already know the best jokes, so like, so this movie's going to stink.
You want to know what makes the best trailers?
Yeah.
Go on, just study Steven Spielberg's blockbuster trailers. I'm telling you, they are fantastic.
Yeah. Amanda, do you have anything different?
I was just thinking about books in that aspect because I'm reading a book right now, and the summary of the book gives away something that happens 3/4 of the way into the book. And I'm like, why is this in your summary? It's a spoiler.
Yeah.
It's the last half of the book.
Right.
I've been waiting for this thing to happen, and it hasn't happened until now. So things like that. But like with Marvel trailers recently, I'm thinking about the Spider-Man trailer that came out, and people are like speculating because when Spider-Man No Way Home came out, everyone's like, there's no other Spider-Man. Like they're not in the trailer, but
that was awesome.
They took it frame by frame because they're like, oh, they edited them out of the trailer.
Yes.
So I think they're doing that more with Marvel trailers.
There's a big old space left at the bottom.
I know exactly the scene that you're talking about. It's Spider-Man in the trailer. It's Spider-Man, and he's jumping
towards a bunch
of red baddies,
ninjas,
and there's a bunch of open space right above Spider-Man. I guarantee
who else is it? Yeah,
I guarantee. Well, it could be a couple people. There's a couple people. You want me to hypothesize?
If you want, yeah.
I'm thinking it's Daredevil. That's who I'm thinking.
That's who I'm thinking.
Yeah, because
it's the red. The hand.
It's the hand.
It's the hand
from the show.
And Elektra was a part of the hand and everything like that. And that's Daredevil. The whole show Daredevil. So.
Was the hand?
Well, you know Punisher's in it too.
Yes.
Punisher's
yeah.
It could be.
But I don't really see the Punisher.
I don't know. He's going to survive the fall unless Spider-Man helps him. But
So
Probably not.
I know exactly what you're saying when they're cutting it out on purpose.
Because they want you to speculate to go see the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
And wouldn't it just be great if the whole joke was on us and that part doesn't even have anybody else there?
The best part, it's not even in the movie.
Yeah, the scene's not even in the film.
You see that too now, though.
You do.
See stuff in a trailer, and it's not even in the movie.
Yeah.
They'll cut it before it goes
And you're
to
like,
final print.
what happened here?
Yeah.
So we've talked on movies. We've talked about music in movies a little bit, but what movie do you think has the best music? I know that's a tall order.
I'm
Erik,
looking
you
at
look
Pete right
excited
now.
about this one.
I have the answer in my mind. It is written on this piece of paper in front of me. I turned it over so he could not see my answer to this.
Do you want to do it on the count of 3?
I don't think we're gonna have the same one.
Oh, okay.
I don't. I don't believe. Now, okay, it's close. Okay, because there's certain songs from this movie that are absolutely iconic, but I tried to look at it as the whole movie. So not just like the opening scene music per se.
I like how it looks as though you're trying to telepathically tell Pete. I think this is what you're going to say right now.
I know what he's going to say.
Erik,
I know what he's going to say. Okay, I'll say. We'll say what he's going to say on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Star Wars.
And I would maybe argue is too strong a word. I would argue that Star Wars, the music throughout the entire film. I'm just talking about A New Hope specifically.
Yeah, okay.
And even Empire Strikes Back for that matter. But throughout the whole film, it is just iconic. It is epic. It's John Williams. I mean, come on.
It's
John
freaking
Williams.
John Williams.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking about this, all right, because my most recent vinyl purchase was a re-release of the 3-movie Lord of the Rings soundtrack by Howard Shore, and I say this is just me personally, I think, is that track to track, I can listen to it and know exactly in the movie where it's at, what the characters are doing, what's going on. And I felt like that. Okay. But if we're talking most iconic though, it's Star Wars. I
went with a different John Williams one, but you can continue.
I mean, he writes all the iconic.
What'd you do? Raiders?
Yeah. Nope.
Raiders is a good one.
I mean, any John Williams is going to be a good choice, but I went with the only movie soundtrack I've ever actually purchased myself.
Harry Potter.
Boom.
He did that?
He did Harry
Yeah,
Potter.
he did.
The first 2?
Yeah, so
2.
I bought
The first 2
Sorcerer's
movies.
Stone. He
Really?
did Sorcerer's Stone, like the
I didn't think it was
like
him.
the do 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 do.
Yeah.
That's John Williams.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
I don't
but
know
I
who
think he stopped after the first 2.
I think he did too.
Was it
I'm going to
Howard-
blame
was it
Alfonso
Howard-
Cuarón.
or,
That's right. I did
uh-huh.
decide to
Zimmer?
name the director I don't like. Alfonso Cuarón.
But no, I 1,000.
No, he did the first 3.
I agree. With
Okay.
you on iconic.
Maybe Alfonso
I agree with you
Cuarón
too,
broke
man.
him.
Lord of the
Maybe.
Rings, that's a phenomenal soundtrack.
Yeah.
For sure. And it's iconic too all the way through the movies.
When you hear the come on, man.
Oh yeah.
I got goosebumps
I
going
think
on.
we
So-
just know John Williams is good.
Yeah.
So we've mentioned a couple we're talking blockbusters. If I had to branch out, I would say there's a couple of, I wouldn't say the whole movie score, but there's large portions of course I have to say this because it's my favorite film in case anybody forgot, Shawshank Redemption.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Thomas Newman did Shawshank Redemption. And there are some sequences that relate directly to Andy Dufresne's interactions throughout the film, that score that follows him through the film, which is really about hope. It's a very hopeful, you can feel it. You can feel it in the music, that hope, right? It's really well done. And then the other one is Forrest Gump. So some very basic, like, the main theme, very basic piano, very basic. But Alan, I'm going to slaughter his name. I think it's Silvestri. That particular score, a specific score, is just so well done, and it represents Forrest, right? It's a simple man, very simple man, with a simple outcome, a simple goal to love and be loved, right? So it just works. It's just kind of that whimsical. So those scores, as far as dramas go, might not be blockbusters, although I would argue that Forrest Gump was a blockbuster. Maybe not a summer blockbuster, but it was. Those are really like two that I keep going back to and listening to the music all the time.
And I know you are a soundtrack fiend.
Listen to film scores often. I'm going to go with How to Train Your Dragon. John Powell composes that.
Question, which one?
The original.
Okay.
Of course.
I mean, he composes the music for the new movie as well.
Yes.
But that music is just, it encapsulates the whole movie. The other one, me and my roommate listened to the Interstellar soundtrack all the time in college, and the music in that movie is so well done. Hans Zimmer.
Christopher Nolan film.
Oh, I know. I've seen it. I've seen that movie.
It's my son's favorite film.
But the music in that is so well done. So well done.
Special shout out Hans Zimmer Inceptions.
Oh yeah.
When he's like burn, 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 and then it's like turning and everything. Like that just that one's a personal
is a good one
favorite
too. Yeah. I also like the Hunger Games movie soundtracks. What I especially liked is when they made the movie of the prequel. Before,
haven't seen it.
Well, when they made the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, they took some of the like themes from the original movies and used them. I like the way they used them in the prequel movie to hint at like stuff he's doing in that one that impacts stuff in the future movies. And I liked the way they did music in that aspect.
You have to be in it enough to know to be able to pick up those things.
I have seen the Hunger Games movies.
I know you are. But I like when there are layers of things like that where it's like the ones who are really digging into it do notice those things and pick up on those things.
End of Rogue One with the, can I spoil it?
Yeah.
Darth Vader, after he like kills all those guys, the rebel troopers, and he gets to the platform as the Tantive 5 is but it's going away. Princess Leia has escaped, and it starts. Dun, dun, dun. You're thinking, we're like, oh, here we go. And no, it was like, dun, 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 dun. And you're like, wait.
Have I mentioned John Williams? No, I'm
He definitely is a master of his craft.
Yes.
He is.
So Disclosure Day came out by Steven Spielberg. I saw it. Great picture. It's a great, great film. And the score is fantastic.
And who made the score?
John Williams. But what's interesting is he came out of retirement. I think he's 80.
No, he's older. He might be in his 90s now, buddy.
Is he? I thought he was late 80s. But he came out of retirement. Steven Spielberg talked him out of retirement, and he said that this is his last film.
He's 94.
94? Is he really? I thought he was in his late 80s.
I don't think he could stand up while he's conducting. He had to like sit.
Well, they said, I read a couple articles where they talked about this, doing the score took a lot out of him, and they're not sure that, he's going to be around much longer.
Yeah. Oh, he's 94.
His music
94. Yeah. But I mean, Steven Spielberg and John Williams, growing up in the 90s, I was like, they are synonymous. They work together, period.
Yep. Absolutely. It'll be a sad day when he passes.
So I think that's going to bring us to our Book Bite segment, which is actually our Movie Bite segment, where instead we want to know, what summer blockbuster are you most looking forward to this summer?
Well, do you want to say
on
three?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, sure? Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3. The Odyssey.
Should we do that?
I think we were separated at birth. It wasn't for age difference. But
I can't wait for this movie. It looks great. Like he said, epic. Epic. That's what a summer blockbuster should be, is epic. And what does Christopher Nolan consistently bring? Epic. And I can't wait.
I don't
and
care
then
about
if
it.
you want to do at the count of 3, we can also do the other one, which I already know.
We can. Are you ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Yeah. What are you most looking forward to about Spider-Man Brand New Day, Erik?
Well, I love this iteration of Peter Parker. I love, I want to see what happens now that everyone in New York City doesn't know who Peter Parker is. I want to see this continuation of him as a character now that he doesn't have to constantly be worrying about MJ, even though he's still worrying about MJ.
I mean, the trailer proved he's still worrying about MJ.
Correct, yes. But I just coming into his own and being more of that neighborhood, everyday Spider-Man. You see where he's living in the trailer. He's doing stuff, but no one knows who he really is. The characters that are involved, from him, like with the Punisher or Daredevil potentially, most likely. Hulk. Like these. I think the Spider-Man movies, I think, are very well done in regards to the last number of films, in comparison to some of the other Marvel movies that they've been putting out. Tom Holland has been consistently a good Spider-Man. I would say that probably kids nowadays, if you had to ask them their favorite Spider-Man, it's probably Tom Holland and not Tobey Maguire. And that's just generational.
I like how we just ignore Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, no, I was thinking the same thing.
Garfield.
Who? I know.
Never had a chance.
They were okay. They weren't the best.
No.
But I'm very much looking forward to that iteration Brand New Day.
And I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to seeing Peter Parker enter the second stage of the 3-stage cycle of Spider-Man.
Yes.
Yes, that's going to be really interesting because some really interesting powers come with that from the comic books.
Yes.
Yeah, he gets pretty powerful.
Yeah.
And he needs to be with what's coming.
What excites you most about this Spider-Man movie?
So in the comics, when everybody forgets who Spider-Man is, he's allowed to tell them and then they remember everything. So I'm interested in how they do that in the movie. Tom Holland has also said one person remembers who he is. So everyone online is speculating, and I think it's the Hulk.
Yes, I also agree. Because in the trailer, Bruce Banner, he comes up to Professor Bruce Banner. He's giving a lecture. And he's like, "You're not one of my students, are you?" It's like, dude, you fought Thanos together, But Bruce didn't. But the Hulk sure did.
In the comics, the Hulk is the only one who remembers him.
So I think that's that. Spoiler alerts, I think.
I am excited to see if what happened in the Daredevil show that was recently on affects anything that happened in the movie.
I've only seen the first couple episodes of the new season of the Daredevil show. It is a little, it can be a little gruesome, right?
It is very dark.
The end of season 1 was like, holy moly.
Did
you see it?
I haven't yet. I've seen a couple.
Well, I'm glad I didn't show an action that happens in the show.
I've seen the previous seasons. I haven't seen the latest season.
Oh, okay. So you saw I
think so. It's been a while. I think so.
Okay.
Got it.
Anyway, this is why Heather will not be watching Daredevil. Instead, I just rely on Amanda to tell me what I need to know.
Describing a very gruesome scene that we cannot describe on air.
Well, I know less of the comic stories of Spider-Man, so this is going to sound contradictory to who I am as a person. But what really struck me was Peter Parker's abject loneliness. And I'm looking forward to seeing him working through that loneliness and having that personal growth, because if this movie ends sad, I will be so upset. But I'm looking forward to seeing him get through that, because I don't think that's necessarily the tact that is taken a lot of times with our comic books turned into movies. They're more save the day action, and I don't think there's personal growth, but I don't think it's focused on as much. And I feel like this one does have more of that growth moment for Peter.
I think I just watched Castaway last night as I played it here. But the thing that I forgot about Castaway was when he survives the island, he gets off the island, he's going to get back to his wife or his girlfriend or whatever, and it's been years and she moved on. And so this whole time he was trying to I got to get back to her, and that's my motivation to live. And then he comes back and she's already gone again. And it's like, where do you go from there? So it was completely I hope it doesn't end like that with Peter Parker and
Don't
MJ.
put that out there.
You know what I'm saying? Where it's like if you love it, set it free. If it comes back to you, that kind of thing, which was very much, I felt like, with Castaway. But I'm not saying it will be, but I think it could be, because there's more than one woman in Peter Parker's life. Gwen Stacy.
That's a different Earth Peter Parker.
Oh, no.
I don't need your comic book logic up in here.
Well, and with this movie, because they're going to introduce the X-Men eventually, so people think they're going to kind of be incorporating that into this movie with all the speculation of who Sadie Sink is playing in the movie.
Hopefully a better character than the last scene of Stranger Things.
I don't think we need words for that one. But
Conformity Gate is back. So there might be another
Conformity Gate is
episode coming.
Are you familiar?
No.
So when the last season of Stranger Things ended, it was so bad. Not everyone. So many people were convinced that it was a false ending and that this was something that Vecna put in Will's mind. And so they were unraveling all these clues on, oh no, there's another episode. It's coming out on this date. And these were
That's a lot of copium. That's a lot of copium.
I get that, Eric, but some of their rationale was shockingly good. Shockingly good. And now Duffer Brothers have an unnamed movie project coming out.
Everyone's like, it's Stranger Things.
So Conformity Gate is back in action. Yeah. But
can they make a couple new seasons of the ending of Game of Thrones? Because that'd be great too.
Please do that. Make it better.
we don't need to discuss how bad the ending of Stranger Things was. But Eric, you just had Castaway. What other movies are you doing this summer? Do you know? Do you remember off the top of your head?
Yeah. So they're all they're kind of with the theme of, I think it was Explore the Shore, right? And so I'm doing the Little Mermaid, the cartoon Little Mermaid. I'm doing
89 Little Mermaid.
Yes.
All right.
I'm doing Muppet Treasure Island,
Ooh.
Which is a personal favorite of mine.
Is that one with
Tim Curry?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I love Tim Curry.
He is the antagonist in that movie. And it's again, I've shown Muppet Treasure Island here and Muppet Christmas Carol here, and Muppet Treasure Island was a natural next step. So maybe we'll get Muppets Take Manhattan one of these times. But shows like that, Luca, I'm showing as well. All a good Pixar crime movie is always in store. So
okay, Pixar movie that you think is the most cry-worthy. This wasn't on the sheet, but I just want to know.
Oh, that's easy because I wept like
I know mine is. I wonder if it's the same.
I might mess this up, so bear with me. So you got to picture this. I think it was. Is it Toy Story 3 where he gives all his toys away, or is that 2?
3.
Okay. And then he's going off to college, right?
Yep.
So I'm sitting with my 2.5-year-old watching the story about letting go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That ripped me up.
Oh, it's... Yeah, right now, I'm looking at you, buddy. Every Pixar movie gets me to cry at least once, especially the newer ones. I played Soul here this past winter, and man, you get 2 cries in there. 2 moments where you just feel so emotional. I mean, that I think that one probably for me is Soul. Just this guy who is single, his life hasn't gone the way that he thought it was going to go, and just what that all means, and just so two different times I did cry.
I haven't seen that.
I might have related to it more, but yeah, that one. And then go ahead with your guys'.
What about you, Miss No Cry?
I'm going to say Toy Story 3 because I watched that with my parents when I was going to college.
Oh man!
So similar
you get
reason.
it.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not necessarily from a parent's perspective, but you get it.
Mine is Coco, specifically when he's back with his grandma singing "Remember Me."
Yep.
The first time I saw it, I was actually chaperoning a 5th grade trip to Wilmington, North Carolina. And we were on the bus ride back to school. And I'm sitting there surrounded by these 5th graders at the end of the year who, I'm not going to see again. And then also other, things in life and family getting older and whatnot. And there's this Coco that I did not want to like Coco. And I did not want to like Coco because when it was coming out, I saw a commercial for it every 2 seconds to the point where I was just annoyed. And I was like, if I hear about Coco one more time. And then, of course, we're on the bus and I'm like, I can't escape it. Immediately drew me in. We get to the end and I'm just sitting there surrounded by 5th graders, tears running down my cheeks as he's singing Remember Me. Pixar. Okay. Well, thank you, Pete and Erik, for joining us once again to discuss movies. I always love hearing what y'all have to say.
Yeah. Thank you for having us.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always a blast.